Everyone. I'm sorry for the sporadic, timeline with regards to when I do readings and when I don't. I know that, let me back this up. I know that's probably for some of you guys are like, but like a lot of you, I'm dealing with a lot of the same things that you guys are dealing with right now. And it can lead to a very depressing, situation where you have to deal with the other party, especially if children are involved and things of that nature. If you're going through a specific spiritual transition that, created an expiration, you're dealing with something karmically that comes with an expiration date. And the expiration date, I had already shuffled and started the reading, but was interrupted. So I'm just going to leave the cards here as they are because the story is pretty relevant to the change and transition that a lot of us are experiencing. A lot of us are experiencing a death, a spiritual death from, someone that was once marriage material. And we're changing our philosophy on what is acceptable or not in relationships. We're starting to peel off the Band-Aid and not lie to ourselves anymore about the relationships that we find ourselves in, and we had to make a tough choice with regards to what our standards are in relationships. It was not easy to turn our back at the end of the day. Okay, last card is turning our back. I mean, if you just read it like a book, you'll see, It starts off with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a messenger of information. Okay? Messenger of information regarding a Page of Cups. Okay? And this Page of Cups, I mean, even though there is no ace here, I mean, I do feel like in some sort situations, given that I see these wands here, okay, and I've heard this before from other readers, and I've also thought this myself when I see wands. Think of penises, okay? So it's like, in some people's situations, if you look at this right here, I mean, it's like some of you found out that your partner is pregos, got somebody else pregnant. Right? If you look at these wands, you're turning your back because an action was taken regarding a new love. This Page of Cups can easily be referred to as pregnancy, okay? Or some of you got a message of love, or maybe your partner got a message of love from someone else. Sorry for the blur. Let's see if we can get it to zoom back in, right? Either way it goes, it was a hurtful situation that created a death, okay? A death in a relationship, okay? And this could have broken up families. This could have, affected several people that created a lot of conflict. If you see, there are 2 5s here, which represent change, okay? So huge change with regards to the way we think in relationships, to what is marriage material. Something that we once thought was marriage material is no longer marriage material. See, once I do that, and the cards trip out. I mean, the phone trips out, doesn't want to focus. Let's stay focused, okay? Bottom line is ending of what we thought was marriage material to now realizing what is marriage material. A lot of you moved on and said, I'm not dealing with this fuck shit. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with infidelity, all right? A lot of you are really hurt behind the choice that you had to make to become single. But you're adjusting to the single, but you still feel shackled, right? To the concept of being in a relationship, right? So it's like the devil popped up because you feel still shackled to the concept of being in a relationship, but you're single now because you got your new start, your new beginning. Either somebody was a fool in the relationship. I'm sorry for this glare because I know you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do the reading like this. And maybe the blur is indicative of what a lot of us are feeling right now. A lot of us are in a blur right now. You know what I'm saying? We feel like things are blurry right now because we got to get our balance and our footing back. How do we go back to work? How do we go back and do everything that we once did before, right? And go back to our normal lives with this disruption in our life because it's still disruptive. It's disruptive. It's disruptive to the kids. For those of you who have it, it's disruptive to you. If you don't have kids, I mean, a breakup, especially for people who have been in relationships for a long time, especially if it ended badly because somebody else, decided to be with somebody else and they got caught, if it ended like that, or if somebody confessed, whatever the case is, if there was a third party involved, okay? With this 3 of Wands right here, if there was a third party involved, then, it's indicative of someone being a damn fool, and fucking up a good thing, okay? So now you're working on, that's what that card represents. I'm just going to speak on it. I'm not going to put the cards up. You're working on being focused, and checking out your other options. You're looking at your other options now. You're like, okay, I'm clear on this situation. You know what I'm saying? I have looked at my own actions. I've looked at the actions of the other individual. And I'm now at a very pivotal place in my life right now where I just want to focus on me. I want to focus on me and my happiness for once. My happiness. This is the 9 of Cups. I want to focus on me and my happiness and what makes me happy. Okay? I want to focus on what makes me happy for once instead of Mr. or Mrs. Wannabe King of Cups. Okay? That's male energy right there. But, you want either you're focused right now on who's going to be your new King of Cups at this time. And I feel like some of you have stepped into happiness because maybe some of you have found somebody new already. Because we've been talking about this little breakup situation for a while, which means some of you guys are now starting to step out, talk to other people, and actually get serious and consider your other options now. And actually say, okay, yeah, this breakup is official. This person's not coming back in my life because I have certain standards that I'm not going to break. I have now, made it clear with myself that I'm not going back into this relationship because my gut is telling me something. Whether this person admits it or not, my gut is letting me know that in this relationship that I was in, it's just not what I want anymore. It's not marriage material anymore. And now I want to check out my other options. And I'm working on being single again or dating and going through the dating scene, And a lot of you are still dealing with the sadness associated with what really happened in the relationship because some of you feel like there's, missing pieces to the story, missing pieces to the puzzle. Even if some of you broke up because the other person was just inconsistent, or if the person simply just was not meeting the standards of the family, or whatever the case is, if they weren't paying bills like they were supposed to, if they weren't handling business like they were supposed to, whatever the case, whatever caused the breakup. A lot of us are dealing with karmic things that you have to understand. The relationship had an expiration date. Okay, how about that? The relationship had an expiration date from the get-go. Okay, from the get-go. The universe threw this relationship at you so that you could learn how to love yourself. Many of you who I'm speaking to are dealing with this right now. You had to learn how to love yourself because you started to lose yourself in this relationship with this person. You started to lose yourself. That's why this Hermit is right here, okay? The Hermit card is right here with this Ace of Swords. I'm seeing a lot of singular energy right here, okay? Right now. Everything on the table right now has one person on it or represents one single thing, which means that, many of you have put your hands on a new wand or, a new situation. A lot of you are walking into new situations and you're happy about the fact that you have options and that you're moving on. Some of you are moving on. I see that. Some of you are moving on and some of you are happy about the fact that you're moving on because you don't want to be in a relationship where things were uncertain. I see that the things were uncertain at one time. And the Wheel of Fortune is just indicative of karma, and karmic situations coming to a close. it's the number 10, which represents completion. And then what follows? The 8 of Cups. Some of you walked away from a water sign. I see Virgo here. I see Cancer here. I see Libra. Yeah. I see Scorpio twice, actually. I see a lot of water. Okay, so water signs in particular, sun, moon, or rising, which really covers a lot of people out there. Okay, and if you're a water sign, of course you're going to be emotional. Okay, you're going to be emotional about the situation. It's only natural. Okay, some of you may not be eating like you're supposed to. Some of you may not be taking care of yourself like you're supposed to. So it's time to regroup, and it's time to get back our balance. Okay, and what the doctor is ordering, exactly, I said balance, and here's the 2 of, right? The 2 of Pentacles. That represents balance. A lot of you are trying to catch your breath, so to speak. Okay, you're just like, wow, you know, taken aback by the fact that you probably surprised yourself that you actually ended the relationship. Probably surprised yourself by ending the relationship because you were in it for a long time. You probably, you know, mentioned certain things in the relationship on several occasions, but this person just would not fucking, you know, do what they're supposed to do. Straight up. In your eyes. Now, from this other person's perspective, their behavior, nice. Just blurs right out, huh? Nice. Okay, cool. From this other person's perspective, I feel as though they thought that their behavior was just A-okay. They really thought that their behavior was okay, you know? And if you ghosted the other person because of their behavior, I see that this person is like not understanding. They feel like their behavior is like, what did I do wrong? And you're like, excuse me, I'm sorry. Aren't you going to pay the bills? Aren't you going to take the kids to some type of sport? Aren't you going to, like, you know, do something else besides just eat, shit, and shower? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you probably are like, you know, you have to kick in more into the relationship. And a lot of people were not kicking in, and a lot of you walked away from a relationship that you felt was going nowhere. Somebody who was once marriage material, who put effort into the relationship, got comfortable. That's what happened. When they got comfortable, they stopped doing the things that they used to do. Okay? And as a result, you were like, yo, this shit's starting to go downhill. Hello, ding-a-ling-a-ling. And this person was, you know, continuing to do what they do. And when that happens, okay? When that happens, what happens is you get bored. You get, you know, one of the parties becomes unappreciative toward the other. And when that happens, right, and I'm surprised I don't see this 6 of, when you stop nurturing, you know what I'm saying? What you once had, when you stop nurturing what you once had, you lose it. The universe will make you lose your lover. This is the lover's card right here, okay? You will lose your lover if you stop nurturing and you leave your partner out in the cold in some way, shape, or form. You're going to lose that partner. You're going to lose that relationship. That's at 11-11 right there, okay? I know there's a lot of glare, but the bottom line is a lot of you are out here feeling left out in the cold and you need a break. But your angels got your back because 2 4s popped up back to back. I want to let you know that. A lot of you lost your footing with this Tower card, straight up. You felt stolen from. You know, you felt like somebody stole from you. You know, betrayed. Straight up. Here's the 10 of Swords. I mean, you felt backstabbed by this other person's behavior because you gave this person love. You were the Queen of Cups. I feel like I'm talking to a lot of women in particular. This person acted like they were going to be down for the count and take care of business for the long haul, but they didn't. They thought like a teenager. You thought like an adult in the situation. Straight up. That's an adult. That's a teenager, honey. That's an adult. That's a teenager. That's an adult. That's a teenager. You can't have an adult and a teenager mentality. You understand what I'm saying? When this Hierophant popped up in the very beginning of the reading, to me, this is the base of the reading, stating that your thought process, your belief system, all that is different now. You understand what I'm saying? All that's different now. You know, everything that you once had is now out the window because this person's behavior is now sketchy. You don't trust this person's behavior right now, and you want to take a break. You just want some time off right now. A lot of you are like, just leave me alone. Don't call me no more. Quit with the, I want to get back with you. Or, you know, I feel like your ex is still calling, or they stalking, or whatever. It's like they didn't do the right behavior to keep you, but at the same time, they want to see what you up to, and they want to know, have you moved on or what you've done. And I feel like the other person is also experiencing a dark night of the soul. I feel like you experienced dark night of the soul first. And I feel like this person is just now catching up to feeling like, okay, maybe this shit is really done. Like, maybe this person really is not going to take me back because my behavior was not up to snuff in the relationship. This person kept telling me that they were going to kick rocks if I didn't get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? And I continued to be a fool and continued to be an ass, right? And did not do my fair share in the relationship and did not return the same love. Okay? So as a result, now I'm feeling left out in the cold and I feel stolen from. So the other person, you took action, right? Here's the Queen of Wands. Many of you took action and said, I'm going to do something about this situation. I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm going to be about it. I'm not going to keep talking about not wanting to be with this person. I'm not going to keep talking about the shit. I'm going to actually end the shit. So many of you have gone into this new year single, ready to mingle, okay? And your ex is trying to come back, but you can't get past the fact that this person was so damn bossy, broke your heart, and busted a move in the relationship. Started a new beginning with somebody else, probably in the relationship at some point. Now, this represents a new beginning for you as well. You have to understand it's a new beginning for both of you, okay? That's initiated by heartache. Initiated by heartache. And I feel like the teenager is now the one experiencing the heartache now because you have bumped up from like the Queen of Cups energy, right? And the you know, Queen of Pentacles right on top of each other, boom, right? To the Emperor. You know what I'm saying? So you've like bumped up to like this boss type thinker, right? And this person is going through heartache now that you went through. You already went through it. I feel that you already went through it. You know, you already endured this. They're coming right on top of each other. Look at how they came right on top of each other. All three of these cards. The Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Three of Swords. It's karmic, okay? You have to understand there was a lesson to be learned in this situation. And the lesson for many of us is self-love, okay? Why? Let's talk about why, okay? Now we have a new beginning. Both parties have a new beginning, okay? So let's see, Spirit, for those watching, what can we look forward to next? We already know the story, how it ended, why it ended. What can we look forward to in the new year, Spirit? Nice. I love how I asked a question and right away, boom, 10 of Pentacles. What you can look forward to is completion, and you can look forward to now focusing on yourself rather than being distracted by the relationship that was a headache. It was a headache. It was a headache. Even if you love this person, it was a headache. It was a headache because you felt like this person was not doing you any justice in the relationship. You felt like this person was not giving you the same thing that you were giving them. And I feel like over time, for some people in particular, over time, the shit started running ragged. The relationship started to run you ragged. You started doing shit that you wouldn't normally do. Your ass started fucking up in some areas because you were in a very depressing type situation. And because you were in a depressing type situation, you started, you know what I'm saying, losing yourself. And you started to notice that. And you were like, wait a minute, I'm not doing myself any justice. I'm surprised the Justice card ain't popped up. If it's next, I was about to say, I knew it was going to be some type of major arcana coming up next, the High Priestess. Many of you have stepped into your spiritual space like never before. I feel like the High Priestess is going to get with the Emperor now. You know what I mean? It's going to be a situation where the High Priestess and another individual, you know, the psychic spiritual aspect of somebody else is going to catch your eye, and the maturity in you based on what you just endured in this relationship is going to catch their eye. It's going to be a situation where the attraction, what used to attract you in the past, is not going to attract you anymore. Your wants are different. What attracts you now is different. So you're focusing on your money, you're focusing on your spirituality, and there's still a little bit of the past hurt, right? With these Five of Swords, right? There's still these swords that you got to pull out your back, right? And like somebody's full of anxiety behind the damn shit, right? And it's still partly you and partly your partner, as there is some mirroring going on, and you're both having to display some strength behind this, right? Strength behind knowing that there is a new beginning. You're at the very end. You know what I'm saying? Because I see fives, and I see, this 9 and this 10, especially when I ask Spirit, what the new beginning is going to be like. And Spirit's like, the new beginning is going to come with financial abundance. Why? Because now your focus is on something different. Now you're being given the opportunity to say, what is it that I'm going to put my focus and energy into now that I'm not putting my focus and energy into this relationship anymore? Because the energy's got to go somewhere, right? All of that energy that you used to put into that one person, now you're not putting it into that person anymore. What you're doing now is now you're putting it into yourself, right? Now you're putting it into your own self. Now you're investing in yourself. And you're investing in your own spirituality, as well as considering your options, considering what happened in the situation, making sure that it never happens again, making sure that you're prepared in the event that somebody does try this shit again, making sure that your sword is sharpened in the event that it happens again, and that you cut off any possible heartache, and a lot of you are manifesting new beginnings, right? That don't come with third-party situations, that are only encompassed with celebration and positivity, okay? You no longer want any of that nasty, negative energy associated with always having to tell the other partner what it is that you did not like in the relationship. It had an expiration date. And the reason why it had an expiration date is because there was something that you needed to learn for you to be able to accomplish this Ten of Pentacle energy. This Ten of Pentacle energy, okay? You would not be able to accomplish this Ten of Pentacle energy had you not gotten through what you had gotten through with this other party. It was difficult, but you never would have been able to get this Ten of Pentacles without going through what you went through in this relationship. What you went through in this past relationship taught your ass how to go ahead and handle business like never before. It taught you and forced you to be stronger than you were before. And many of you are going through that difficult process. We're all going through that difficult process right now. And it's so ironic how Spirit and the universe did this all at once with people rather than sporadically, over time. Because I feel like a lot of people felt the same energy all at once. And I feel that the universe did that intentionally so that we could all be of support to each other during that time, during the same time. I feel like a lot of us are experiencing the same shit all at once. I can't believe how many people I talk to on the phone every day, and the stories are so similar. It's like same story, different person. This person cheated. This person had somebody on the side for like years, and I had no idea. We have 2 beautiful children, you know what I mean? Or however many beautiful children together, and this person went and stepped out on in the relationship. Or the person just was not being responsible in the relationship and handling their business. And you made a decision. And I feel like that's really just the bottom line. And now you're manifesting what you want, and you're celebrating, You're celebrating and you're acknowledging yourself for the strength that you displayed and saying that I'm not going to be in this anymore, You are now defending yourself against, I feel like, see, when this card popped up right here, right after this, it's like you're acknowledging all the hard work that you put into the relationship that was not acknowledged. You feel like it wasn't acknowledged. Many of you feel like the hard work you put into the relationship was not acknowledged. And that felt like a stab, And that's what made you cut off the relationship. You were like, I'm out. You're not acknowledging all of the shit that I'm doing in this relationship. And you are not doing nearly as much, as I'm doing in this relationship. I put in a whole lot more work into this relationship than you. Let me go answer that doorbell. I'll be back. Boy, I'll tell you, every time I try to finish these readings, I get an interruption. But, bottom line is, this is a spiritual experience, guys. It's pretty deep, it's pretty heavy. We know this, and all I can do is offer encouragement at this point. You know, that's really all I can offer, right? Um there's no way of like trying to curb the situation and make it sound like, you know, this shit is not as difficult as it is to get through. It's a growth spurt. It's a spiritual growth spurt. And it's hard for a lot of people because, you know, some people have different opinions as to how to approach the situation. Some people feel like, you know, you should have just put up with the shit because you have kids, you know what I mean? And you know, waited for them to graduate from college to in a relationship and just stay in a loveless relationship, right? For the kids or, you know, whatever. But many of you stood tall and said, you know what? I'm going to teach my children that they don't have to be in a loveless relationship and how to be strong even in a difficult situation. And the way that you handle the situation will teach them how to handle situations similar in the event that they find themselves in similar situations in the future. So I want you guys to consider that while you're going through whatever you're going through, okay? If some of you guys are arguing and bickering and having a very difficult time, you know, in particular to people who have children, okay? Consider how your responses to the situation and them hearing your responses, consider how that affects the kids, okay? Really important, because you're teaching them how to deal with difficult situations as well. You're teaching them that your values have changed, that your principles have changed, and the way that you explain that to the kids will be something that they'll remember for a very long time. So remember that. I feel as though this is a past tense situation for many of you. And now you're going into a new space that comes with joy, that comes with anxiety, it comes with all of that. It comes with so many different emotions at once, to where it can be hard to get your footing. And you have to be strong in this situation. Okay? So with that being said, I know you guys are sensing a completely different energy in me, because I am feeling different about my situation. I don't know how many of you are getting to that place where you're looking at your situation differently and you're just wanting to not talk about the drama anymore. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to consider your other options. You're ready to just kind of move on from the situation. Kind of wish that it never ever happened, many of you, but you have to understand that had it never happened, you never would have learned what you learned. So the way I'm going to end this video is by letting you guys know, for those of you who did not receive your stoned bracelets, for those of you who have ordered them, I would like for you to email me, please. Email me and let me know that you have not received them. That's my bad for not putting tracking on them. For those of you who did order them and did not receive them, okay, especially over the holidays with that much mail going through, I should have put tracking on many of the packages. So if you ordered your bracelets and did not receive them, I'd like for you to let me know. And for those of you interested in booking a private reading, I want you to know that my readings are more like guidance, spiritual guidance, counseling sessions. Do you understand what I'm saying? I cannot predict the future of this other person. Okay? I cannot predict your future, as only you know how you're going to respond to this situation. All I can do is call out the present energy. Okay? And I want you guys to know that, because a lot of times people will call me and ask me, well, in the future, what do you see? Well, let me tell you that psychics, okay, for the most part, call out the energy that is in the here and now. We're receptive to the energy that is here right now, okay? And many of us know how to go ahead and intuitively give you the advice that spirit would give you based on what our pickup on energy is with spirit. okay? And our guardian angels, and yours as well when we get on the phone with you. So with that being said, loves, keep your head up and know that you're not the only one going through this situation, as I'm speaking to many people all the time about this. And you're not the only one going through the situation. Okay, so with that being said, less anxiety, more appreciation for the fact that you learned something in the situation, and that the next relationship that you get into, you learned something, so that the shit does not repeat itself. Okay, and that you don't respond to the situation in the event that you go through something similar in the future. You don't respond to the situation the way that you did last time, or the way that you did this time going into the future, so that things are different this time, okay? Namaste, my loves. I'll talk to you soon.